All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. Now, with Major League Baseball giving the Oakland Athletics the green light to look elsewhere in regards to finding themselves a new stadium, we could be looking at the end of an era in regards to professional sports in Oakland, California. Now, in recent years, we saw the Golden State Warriors go back across the bay into San Francisco, while the Raiders recently left Oakland for the second time. But instead of going to Los Angeles, they are now calling Las Vegas home. Now, you look at the Athletics, and they need to get their hands on some of that Silicon Valley money, but it's easier said than done. Due to the fact that the San Francisco Giants, have territorial rights over that. Make no mistake about it. In the current realm of professional sports that we are in, luxury stadiums are the present and the future. And of course, those luxury boxes, those suites, anything that's going to go out there and bring corporate America in. That is what these professional sports owners are looking for because they are revenue generators. The Oakland Alameda County Coliseum is a dinosaur. I mean, this stadium dates back decades. It was old, it looked old, when it was first built. I mean, for some people, it's an eyesore, but the people who gravitate there and who have supported the Athletics and who have supported the Raiders in years past, they loved it. But you know what? The new wave right now, unfortunately for the average fan, is they're basically getting priced out. And it's all about these luxury suites. And, it's a travesty. I mean, there's a love affair with the city of Oakland and their teams. Of course, we've seen it over the years with the Raiders and that infamous black hole down there at the Coliseum. And it's sad that we are not going to see that anymore with the silver and black. And now, if you're the city of Oakland, you cannot afford to let the A's leave town because, yes, the Warriors are still in the area, but you're not getting that revenue on that side of the bay for this team. And of course, the Raiders have completely left California, and guess what? They're not coming back. You look at it from the standpoint of the A's; they've had to get creative over the years. We saw the boom of Moneyball, of course, with Billy Bean running operations in the front office for the A's. They were able to make the playoffs in the late 90s and 2000s. And even to now, they are still fielding very competitive teams. But once they get to the postseason, they don't have that oomph to get them over. Why? Because over the years, we've seen them not be able to re-sign their star players. You have your fill with it. Jason Giambi, Tim Hudson, Miguel Tejada, Josh Donaldson, just to name a few, Mark McGuire. And if you want to go back to another era, of course, when free agency began in MLB, the A's had to bid farewell to the likes of Reggie Jackson and Catfish Hunter. So, for me, I look at it like this. Could this be a ploy by John Fisher, the Oakland's principal owner, to get a new stadium? We'll have to wait and see because they have looked at property in Oakland. They're going to continue to look at property in Oakland. We've heard everything about Fremont, but at the same time, we know that this team is set to go out and explore options in the city of Las Vegas. And whereas there was a time when professional sports leagues frowned on the city of Las Vegas, that has changed. We saw the success that the Vegas Golden Knights have had there. Of course, the Raiders have started playing there, but they just have been unable, of course, last year due to COVID, have fans in the stands. But that definitely is going to change this season. So now it is a lucrative cash cow. And if you are not only a professional sports team, but a professional sports league, you're looking at that now and saying, hey, you know what? We need to get in on that. And of course, all of these owners of these franchises, regardless of the sports, these guys are businessmen and they're going to follow the dollar. And you know what? If the city of Oakland doesn't give the Athletics what they want, and if it's not to their liking and that liking of Major League Baseball, well, you know what? The A's, unfortunately, are going to bid farewell. It's sad because, I mean, granted that the A's did not start in Oakland. Out of all of these big teams, only the Raiders started in Oakland. But of course, the Warriors, like the A's, started in Philadelphia. But, it's a situation where, it's sad because when you have a team that is in a city for so long, there's a love affair with the fan base there. And we see that love affair with the people who do support the A's. Granted, they're not able to sell out the Coliseum consistently, but the people that are there are definitely into the game. And even though that the names on the back of the jerseys continuously change, as the A's have been unable to maintain those teams over the years, the fans still come out and support this team, and that's who suffers in this the most. It's all about the fans, and they're going to suffer. And these owners, the bottom line, they're going to go out there and look for their top dollar. Hopefully, for the sake of the fans and everybody involved in the city of Oakland, this situation gets resolved. I would love to see it. I'm not a person who lives in Oakland, but watching it, you still see it, and it's just like, wow, you know, you just hope that things work out for the better and definitely for the people there. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is they have this is a business. I hope that maybe cooler heads prevail between Major League Baseball and the city of Oakland, and maybe we could see a situation with what happened in Kansas City, where there was this money put together to renovate Kauffman Stadium. The Royals didn't go out there and get a new stadium. They renovated the stadium, and of course, everybody there is happy. Hopefully, a situation like that can happen with Oakland. Hopefully, cooler heads prevail. We know that the Athletics have shown that they can compete, and I mean, credit to them because they started off so slow this season, but now you're looking at a team that is in first place in the American League West, and things are really shaping up for them to win that division. But nonetheless, make no mistake about it, you would like to see this team stay there. Also, this will be the end of another rivalry in sports. And I know that interleague play has been around for 25 years now, but seeing the Giants and A's go back and forth across that bay and compete against each other, is nice to see. Of course, these two franchises met in the World Series in 1989. Also, some from time to time, both the A's and Giants will host home games at the same time. So you can look across the bay and see the lights on at AT&T Park, or you can also see the lights on at the Coliseum. And it's just a good dynamic. And of course, the fans in the Bay Area, they no longer have their Raiders. Granted, there really wasn't a rivalry with the 49ers. They only met in preseason games. They never met in the Super Bowl, of course. But make no mistake about it, you lose that. The fans still have the opportunity to go across the Bay and see the Warriors play in San Francisco. But, there's a possibility, you might not have that luxury with the Athletics if they leave town. And of course, there was a time when everything was in that same complex, Oracle Arena, where the Warriors play. And of course, the Coliseum hosted both the Raiders and the Athletics. And of course, teams as well as municipalities have gotten away from teams sharing stadiums, especially from the football, baseball aspect. We see it still going on with basketball and hockey. But make no mistake about it, if the Athletics, if the city of Oakland rather were to lose the Athletics, this would be a huge loss because you would then be a three-time victim in this. You saw the Warriors leave town. You've seen the Raiders leave town, and the last thing you can ill afford to do is see the Athletics leave town, because I guarantee you this. The city of Oakland is never going to get another NFL franchise. I mean, they lost the Raiders twice. They're probably never going to get another NBA franchise because, the NBA is going to look at it and say, hey, well, you know what? We have a team in the area, and that's good. And if you are the city of Oakland, there's a pretty good chance you do not get another MLB franchise, because you have cities not only in the United States but also in Canada that are looking to field a MLB franchise. When you think about Canada, the folks in Montreal are eager to once again have a franchise there, because it's almost been 20 years since the Expos left town. You think about Vancouver and British Columbia. Of course, they have the Canucks. Things didn't work out with the Grizzlies in the NBA, but there's a financial boom that's going on there in Western Canada in that town, and people are ready for another sports franchise. The city of Portland, Oregon, could be a city rather, that is in the mix to get an MLB franchise as well. So there are factors right here, and if you're Oakland, you got to bring it. And you got to show that you want this team It comes down to the powers that be there from both the franchise and the city. Everybody needs to be on the same page. But at the end of the day, like I said before, the fans suffer. It would be sad to see the Oakland A's leave because they've been embedded in that city and that community for so long. But you just want to see them be able to compete. You definitely want to see the fans happy. And at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar. And the A's are no different from any other MLB franchise in that aspect. They're no different from any other professional sports franchise in that aspect. So we'll just have to wait, sit back and wait and see what happens. But hopefully, like I said before, cooler heads prevail, and the A's will remain in the city of Oakland. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you like what you saw, please feel to click on that like button, as well as the notification bell, as well as clicking on the subscribe button. Also, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There is also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Thanks for tuning in. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.